Now, waiting silently doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. David isn't emotionally numb. He's honest about what's happening right now in his life. So silence before God doesn't mean hiding your feelings from God. Instead of bottling them up, we, number 2, need to tell him our troubles. Tell him your troubles. It says in verse 8, "Oh, my people, trust in him at all times. Pour out your heart to him, for God is our refuge." That means don't hold anything back. Don't bottle up your disappointment. Bring all of it to the Lord. Your frustration, your bitterness, the fact that that didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, the fact that it was hard, the fact that it hurt, the fact that you don't feel like your questions are being answered, or you're exhausted, or you don't know the next step. Bring it all before God. You know what you don't have to do? You don't have to filter anything for the Lord. You can be honest, brutally honest before him. I think of it this way. Like, you know how sometimes we have to write an email to our boss and we're like taking our time, making sure it's all curated perfectly. Like, did that sound okay? Is it professional yet warm? I'll send it to chat. Does that sound okay, chat? Okay. And then we like look it over again and we send it off. That's not what this is. This talking to God is like, it's everything. It's coming out of us. It's pouring out of us. It's like a voicemail when you send your friend or your husband or your wife about like, I need eggs and milk. And what did you say last week? And I don't know what to do. It's everything. It's the real stuff, the gut-wrenching real, unfiltered. It's like an honest conversation instead of a religious performance. Chill people don't bottle up their pain. They pour it out to God. So when we're pouring it out to God, it's not like, you know, on Instagram, how they like have this beautiful woman who's like, doesn't have any frizz, dressed so beautifully. And she's like, I'm gonna pour my heart out to God. And it's like, oh. Yeah, no. It's like this. I'm pouring my heart out to God. That's what this is like. It is everything in us being poured out before the Lord. Too often we succumb to the I'm fine, don't we? I bet you were asked 3 times today, how was your week? How are you doing? What's going on? I'm fine. I'm fine. No one's fine. No one's fine. I mean, we have some great things in our lives. We have some wonderful things that we are like so blessed and so thankful for. But there's also some really hard things, okay? We're not all just fine. No. Okay, so we need to be real with God, with one another. When people carry stress, anxiety, and frustration or anger but never express it, what happens? It starts to bottle up like a pressure cooker. It starts to, right? And then it explodes. And it explodes over whoever is around you. And they didn't even know it was coming, but it was coming all the time. It will burst. But when people talk about what's bothering them, when people let it out, something miraculous happens. We start to actually look at the words. We start to listen to ourselves. And we're like, hey, they said that about me, but I know their heart. And I don't think they really meant that like that. Or we remember that lie we heard from our critic and we're like, God would never say that about me. That's a lie. I'm taking that thought captive and making it obedient to Christ. That has no place here. And there's power that comes from letting it out because then we can process it out loud before the Lord. And that's essentially what Psalm 62 invites us to do with God. Pour out your heart before God, not carefully, but emptying. It's the kind of honesty that God is inviting you to. You don't need to make your prayer sound spiritual. You don't need to edit your emotions. God is not fragile. Amen. He's not fragile. He's strong. He can handle your fear and your frustration and your exhaustion. So about 3 weeks ago, I had the worst shift I've ever had. It was so hard. Holy cow. So we had come off of some really hard shifts, and I had my first patient die earlier that week. It was really hard. I had just some really hard patients that I'm still learning. And so there's a lot of stress involved. And so I was getting so emotionally tired and physically tired. And then I had a patient that was violent and that went to hit me. And that's a lot. And it was traumatic. It was super traumatic. And I held my tears all day. I would go into the bathroom and I'd start to cry. And I'm like, Kenzie, don't cry. You can't cry. And then I'd get in my car. I got in my car that night, you guys. And I don't know if I've ever done this before, but I scream cried home. I scream cried. I don't think I've ever been that vulnerable with the Lord before. But it was the real, I don't know why you have me here. I don't want to do this. This is not what I signed up for. Why? Why am I here? That's what came out. The real, the hard. What are you doing, God? Why? But you know what happened in that moment is that as I expressed that to the Lord, who can handle it, is that I stopped carrying that pressure alone. He was right there with me, and he held that with me, and he let me scream, cry it out because he loves me, and he's with me in it. God is a refuge, not a judge waiting to silence us. 1 Peter 5:7 says, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. So we tell God what we're afraid of. We tell God that we're afraid, and that doesn't weaken our faith. It actually strengthens it because we're inviting him into it. So I would encourage you, get a journal. If you're a paper pencil person like me, get a journal and write about what is going on in your life. What is hurting right now? What are you afraid of right now? If you're a digital person, then get your phone out and talk to it. Put it in Evernote, put it in your notes, but let it out. Or take 5 minutes at the end of the night and tell the Lord what was stressful that day, what happened that day. Do you need to tell God about something that's going on at work? Do you need to tell God about something that's going on with your spouse that is super hard? Or maybe you have a child that's far away from Jesus right now, and you just need to talk to the Lord about it. Maybe you need to invite him in to your confusion or your pain or your bitterness or your midlife crisis. He is with you in it, and he will meet you in the middle, and that is where your healing will begin.